Hello, everybody, and welcome to Wave 137. Fantastic, huh? Oh, we're getting ever closer to that Wave 140. So, let's do a bit of a recap, shall we? Take this moment, discuss what I'm doing this episode, what the goal is, and where we currently are with things. So, the goal, first of all, straight up now, I am going to head into town, into the city, and try and get my hands on those missing books. I know that there's one in the hospital. I know there's one in the high school. I also think I remembered seeing one on the list there for the police station. So, yeah, I need to get those books. That's going to allow me to unlock the top end items. You know, the grenade launcher thing, the rail gun, all that kind of stuff. So that's my goal right away now with this time that I've bought from being able to kill the giant zombies so early. So the goal in general at the moment on Wave 137 is I classify this as a free day. And what I mean by that is I know I haven't got giant zombies coming tonight. The pattern I've identified is they're definitely only arriving on every even day. So 136, 138, etc. So it's a normal zombie attack tonight. So I need to improve the sausage factory, or at least make sure the sausage factory is in such good condition again that it's able to handle the normal zombies. I took too much damage out of it before. This time it's got to just be able to cope. I don't want zombies, running around the inside of the base. I just want it to be able to cope and manage. I also then need to try and think about improving the house part. Continue to rip down sections before that just don't, line up or fit or of no use. Improve the amount of energy that I can produce. That's going to allow me to upgrade more traps. And make them, so that I don't have to use resources. Well, I don't have to use tree branches to keep the traps going. Once they're upgraded, they require like pieces of metal, which is brilliant because you get that from dead zombies. So if I can reduce the over-reliance on tree branches to keep my traps going, that's a double win. The traps are going to do more damage. I don't need to use tree branches to keep replenishing them. I don't need to use tree branches to repair them. So that's a must. I want to get as many of my traps as I can to be upgraded and powered. But that's going to take an awful lot of energy generation. For those who are not aware, the only options I have for energy generation are a bicycle that you can sit on and pedal, which is pointless. I need to be in the front line. Wind generation, which we have, but it generates very little power. Solar, which is great for charging up my batteries during the day, but obviously during the night when the action is, it's not going to generate any power. So that means I have to have a lot of batteries already pre-charged to survive through the night. Now that is an option. And then the only other option you have is a big generator that guzzles fuel at a rate that I just cannot get into my head how on earth I can afford to lose fuel at such a rate. It's an insane amount. Now I could put one of those fuel generators in a position whereby maybe I could turn it on if like batteries are low in the middle of the night, and then that'll give like everything a boost. But it is literally that. It's like that last resort. So at the moment, all I can see is all of my power has to really come from wind generation. And that means I need a huge wind farm. And I need to find a place to set that up nicely. I don't want it too far away from my base, because if I have it too far away from my base, whenever those windmills just malfunction, you've got to run all the way over them, repair them. So I want it reasonably close. But there's got to be a lot. So that's going to take a lot of work. So at the moment, I'm just checking through this hospital here, trying to see if I can find where the book would be. Yet again, I do my usual thing. I don't like checking wikis or other people's videos. Not because I don't like watching other people's videos, of course. I mean, hopefully they enjoy watching mine. It's just because I like to try and analyze things myself. And if I end up watching somebody else's, I get two issues. One is I take what that other person is showing me to be... It kind of overrides my thinking process. Why try and solve a problem if I've already been given a solution, if you get what I mean? Yeah? And I'm not saying that the solution I come up with is going to be better or even different. It's just, it stops that kind of process in my brain of how do I solve this issue when somebody shows me a solution. Now, sometimes I can look at that solution and immediately try and improve upon that solution, but yet again, I'm taking somebody's solution and I'm just modifying it. So I do like to try and analyze things as I see them, solve them myself, and then work from there. I mean, once I've kind of got myself into a position whereby I'm happy with my solution, then I sometimes go and watch other people's stuff to see what they've come up with. And sometimes, yeah, they have done a better solution than me. And I will, you know, think about my solution and think, well, okay, how can I modify my solution to incorporate the best of mine and the best of theirs? But to start with, I always like to try and do things myself. And secondly, and I know this is a bit weird and some people might have different views on this, but I don't like using glitches or exploits or anything like that. That comes from me being like a programmer myself, knowing full well that if I'm designing a game, then there's a way that the game's intended to be played. And I don't mind people breaking that, but what you get is a situation whereby if somebody uses an exploit, and we had this before in Night of the Dead before, just to let you know, we had this right at the beginning, loads of people kicked off. If somebody uses like exploits to do something, when the dev eventually comes around to fixing that issue, or hopefully they do, then all the work that some people have done based on an exploit just stops. I mean, there was a point before in the past when Night of the Dead first came out where people were hanging lots of stuff off buildings. Ah, there's the book. Awesome. Hanging lots of things off buildings. And being able to have quite a large sort of like overhang on the edge of prefabricated buildings to build bases on. Well, when the devs fixed that, they logged in and all their bases just collapsed or ruined. And people kicked off and lots of people left the game at that point because they'd have to start all over again because their bases are completely ruined. And it's kind of like, well, your base wasn't ruined. You were clearly using an exploit. And when that exploit was fixed, well then, yeah, everything you've built is now rubbish because it was built upon clearly not the intended way to play. So I don't use anything like that when I'm playing. And if I watch somebody else's video, sometimes I'll be like, oh yeah, that's a good idea, or that's a good way to do something. But I need to stop myself and think, well, hang on, is that as intended? Is that the way that the developer wants this game to be played? So I always try and play my games by not watching, as I say, wikis or YouTubes, and just play games as they are intended and beat them as they are intended. Whether that's on their hardest modes, on their Iron Man modes, wherever. I like taking down games as intended on their hardest settings sometimes. I know this is like only on normal setting because we started the series on normal, but straight away I picked, you know, hardcore mode. There is a weird thing with the hardcore mode in Night of the Dead. And that is the fact that it's not true Iron Man. True Iron Man should be, if I die, the game's deleted. Yeah? That's what you want for Iron Man. If you die, boom, it's over. There's no messing about, it's gone. And you want that save file to be on Steam or on the web somewhere, yeah? So you don't have access to that save file. Because what you get is, if you get Iron Man, like you get something like an XCOM 2, and the save is local, even though it deletes your save, what you end up doing, well, what some people end up doing, is just copying that file before they start playing to their like desktop. And then if they die, you just move the file back from your desktop. Yeah? And you carry on again. So, I like it when the save file is not something you can access and it's remote. Now, with Night of the Dead, that's not the case. Not only, I think, is the save file local, I haven't actually searched, but it must be. But it allows you, if you die, to go back to your save games. The reason I know that is because all my save games are there. When I go to my Let's Start Playing the following day, there's a massive list of all my save games. And it's like, well, and there's a book. Surely, if I die in my hardcore mode, well, I can just go back and play another game, another save. So, although I'm playing on hardcore mode, I do realize that there's no true way in Night of the Dead, other than when I used to do an awful lot on Twitch, so people could actually watch all of the gameplay. I'm happy to upload the whole episodes of my playthroughs onto my Patreon, so that my Patreon supporters can actually watch and verify that the session was, you know, there wasn't any bit whereby I clearly had reloaded or done something. It was a straight playthrough. I mean, I'm happy to do that, but there is sadly no sort of like hard sort of, yeah, deletion the moment you die in Night of the Dead. Anyway, that's enough of an overview. I thought I'd just give everybody an overview of where I am with this series. We're currently on season 8. What I've done is block out the various episodes in my Night of the Dead series into seasons. Season 1, which is like the first 20 episodes, ends with like the base destruction, the first base destruction on episode 20. It's a low quality season. You know, I was just starting out on YouTube, never mind on Night of the Dead. I was recording stuff at like 720p. It's not great. So season 1, what I might do is produce the best of season 1 sort of video that somebody could just watch and do a quick summary of season 1 if they wanted to. Then yeah, season 2, you know, is another like 20 episodes, and I try to basically do each season ending on some kind of cliffhanger or something that might be quite interesting. Season 8, which is on now, I'll probably end when I either work out how to destroy the giant zombies with a base, or we get to something like Wave 150. One or the other will probably end this current season, and then I'll take a break. It might only be like, you know, for a week or two, but I'll take a break from Night of the Dead then and come back with a season 9 if I'm still alive. So that's the plan. That's the makeup of my Night of the Dead seasons. Who knows, another update might come from the developers by then to add in armor and other things that they were intended to do. In which case, I might end the season at that point and start a new season with the new update. Right, that's enough talking. I think everybody's going to probably want to go and see my base and see what we're going to do with the wave. So, let's jump ahead. Right, so even though things like guillotines and that are going to break pathing for the giants, for now, I'm going to put a few guillotines right at the end here as a final solution for the ordinary zombies, so that should any get to the end, they just get dead. And we'll deal with the giant zombies for now in a different way. So yeah, I'm going to put just a couple down at the end here, so I can reach during the battle just to kill them off if I need to. Next up, just move the research bench. It's always been in the way. I mean, there should be a wall right here. Let's move the research bench, put it down in part of my house that's actually more organized. And then, yeah, research things based on these new books I've just picked up. Let's have a quick look. I haven't got that one, but I got these two, I do believe. Brilliant, brilliant. That other one there needs police station. Okay. That's not bad. Progress is being made, along with trying to sort out my house. The other thing I discovered at this point is you can upgrade the modifications for your traps. I mean, this is great. This is great in so many ways. First of all, it means that I've now got use for all of my, you know, bones and skins and feathers again. I can imagine every trap I have, once you upgrade it, you can then put a modifier on it, and that modifier can be upgraded itself. That's just like so much stuff to do, so much scope. That's just brilliant. So I'm going to set about now just trying to modify or upgrade all the modifiers for my existing upgraded traps. Awesome. Now, although I wanted to use my two-handed lightsaber fizzes there, I couldn't because I had it in slot 5, and slot 5 is currently my like wire sort of suppliers. So I've moved my two-handed lightsaber now to slot 1. That'll be a lot quicker. I can just switch. Let's get some extra little cutters added to the front here. I know that means that the zombies will basically cut the corner, but the extra cutters on this edge will help versus the fire dogs, etc. Which is which is good because there's not that much in my base right now that's going to do great damage versus the fire dogs. But these being slightly lower than the normal flooring, they should take a little bit of damage as they try and cut across the corner, and then they get hit by a crusher. A pusher. A spike down here. So when things come off the pusher, they'll land into a spike. I don't want to put too many because it might cause them to start attacking the ground at that location. And if there's lots of them, they might start attacking the base. You know. Anyway. Let's see how the wave goes. And so the sausage factory seems to be back doing what the sausage factory does. Turning zombies into mincemeat for very wrong sausages. Which is great news. Quickly pop out. Get rid of some annoying zombies. There's a couple more on the edge there. You always get stuck on the edge of this cliff. Get rid of these guys. This big two-hander does 70 damage a swing, which is nice. But it's slow. And the distance of the swing is not what you would expect it to be. It's a little bit. I'll get used to it. See, with the fast red one, it wouldn't get a chance to swing at me. That's okay. As I said, I'll get used to it. Right, so there you go. There is another episode. I mean, it was the non-giant episode, so it was an easy episode, but we got a lot done this episode. We got the books, well, most of the books. We got the base sorted so that it can now handle normal waves again without zombies going up over the top and all other crazy things that they were doing before in the past. Yeah, I'm happy once more with the sausage factory and how it can cope with a normal wave. We discovered that we can upgrade the modifiers on traps, so that is also fantastic news. There's a lot of work to be done there. And yeah, I can now focus on what am I going to do for Wave 138. I need to think about how can I advance everything now to cope with those giants. Because every episode I do has to be a step towards handling the giants on a automated basis, if you get what I mean. Something whereby I'm not running around outside like an idiot. Somewhere I can just stay in my base, you know, replan things, you know, click things, whatever, and the big giants just die. That's the goal. That's the ultimate goal. I won't be satisfied until I have a base where I can just stand there and go, oh yeah, big giants just get killed. So right, don't forget to click the old bell so you don't miss the next episode, because even I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do to get rid of the giants, but it's definitely going to be worth watching. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much my community and the Patreons and everything that support my channel. You're all stars in my eyes, and I'll catch you all next time. Bye.